1 and 0. What? Wait, what? I'm sure I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant. Like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders. Then... if you're not Zero, who is? Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said...
All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened.
But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the nonary game. To save someone. Save someone? Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane. What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there, I saw.
Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went as wide as dinner plates, and he spun around toward June. Junpei followed his gaze. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing.
What the hell? Where's she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
Seven began to mumble to himself, a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort, as though he were struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the sides of his head.
Oh, my head, it feels like it's gonna pop.
He groaned and fell to his knees.
Seven, what the hell is going on? I don't know. I don't know. I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode.
From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured.
What was the nonary project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomena? For 2 organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was. That was? Fehlt ein Y, oder?
That was what this experiment was conducted to extermine.
That was why this experiment was conducted. Nee, okay, ist richtig, ja, stimmt. Okay, Entschuldigung. That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were 2 separate locations. One was the gigantic, and the other was a building in the Nevada called Building Q. Building Q had been built to replicate exactly the interior of the gigantic. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q and the receivers were put on the gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q, however, for some reason she was placed on the gigantic with the receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei. Where what is going? Oh, don't play dumb. You know things shouldn't. You think you couldn't. How did you know Ace had How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongu? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it? Well,
The answer to that is easy.
Ah, so cool!
He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures then? Imagine a river that splits in 2 like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into 2 branches. It only flows in one direction, it can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backwards. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the ninth letter of the alphabet.
Fuck off.
But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0.
That's so fucking cool.
Das ist sehr cool.
Where did she go? June? No. Akane. Where did you go? Santa! Where's Clover? Oh shit. Freeze. Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace though. Well, now he likes having a gun to his head. Get up. Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through the door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking? Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They are all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright, but I guess there's no harm in trying. Also das ist doch jetzt tatsächlich das erste Mal, dass wir seine Gedanken dann wirklich hören, ne? Das ist doch gerade die versuchte Twist, dass du sonst immer die Erzählung einer dritten Person über seine Gedanken gehört hast, ja. Let's see if this door still opens. Well, it looks like the door isn't opening anytime soon. You mean we're trapped? So it would seem. What the hell is Santa trying to do? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what? Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now. No, you can't be serious. Oh, but he is. Shit, we've gotta do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I've just gotta... Oh no, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. Deswegen. Is there any combination that'll work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook? Sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez. What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that. Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Shit. Then there's no other way. Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out though. Man, this is just too cruel. It's okay, go. Lotus. Come on, you know we can't do that. Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me. God damn it, you idiots! Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did. If you're not... Look, I'd be bad, alright? It would be bad, alright? For a cop, he doesn't have much confidence. Bad? Yeah, if there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job. Huh? Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story. 7. He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too. You don't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you? Ugh, you are idiots. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry. That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the red. Oh yeah. No! What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9, it has to be 9! Then why isn't it opening? Just to see, why don't we give it a shot? Give it a shot? Yes, that is what I said. You were right. It ain't opening. But it did open 9 years ago. The digital root was 9 then. You think maybe they changed the settings? Perhaps. Shit. If we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get into that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end.
I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder that was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him, and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me. "Come on, over here!" That was my brother, Aoi. He was screaming. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age. "Come on, hurry up!" We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. Two of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. "I want to go home," she cried. "I want to go home." Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It has been 2 hours since the no-nary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind 9 years later. We could call him Snake. "Hello, everyone." "Yes, could you come over here for a moment?" He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him. "I have a little sister. She's very important to me. Right now, she's over in Building Q and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday." As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it's difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or sister in building Q with Clover. For their sake we have to survive, we have to get off the ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends. He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say. Now, don't forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand? When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was the only one. But if there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape. What are we going to do? There aren't any other doors. We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already, warning, warning, emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat, emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good. My brother Aoi swallowed hard and answered. I think it means this room is gonna burn. Burn? Plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said the incineration is about to start, and incinerate means to burn. No! Help me! Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we could call him 7. Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy, I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective, I'm here to rescue you. The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Aoi, Snake and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized. Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present? I knew I had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back, I had to, but I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me, I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship, and hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a run of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could down and down and down. Finally I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically. There it is. It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom, the door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongu, Gentaro Hongu. 9 years later, we would call him Ace. Ah, wonderful to see you decided to come back. His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth. Come with me. We must continue the experiment. I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongu's hand close over my left wrist. I said, come with me. There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please, let go of me. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongu to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongu. Stop struggling, goddammit. Do as I tell you. He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed. Help me, somebody help me! Then suddenly, Akane! The door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake. Akane! He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongu. You came back, I cried out. You're too late, idiot! Hongu threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. Ah! The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongu stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongu.
Weiß nicht, ob man das nochmal komplett erzählen musste.
With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongu glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the rat that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the rat. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the double door slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9. Akane, Akane, are you okay? Could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice. Help me! My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongu? He went out the other door. What? Then it started again. Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Holy shit. Man, I knew what it was gonna say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice. I knew it. It's starting. Santa started the incinerator. Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years. What the hell? What the hell? What are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. What in God's name are you talking about? You aren't making any sense. I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have the time to explain it right now. I promise I'll tell you everything once we get out of here. But automatic incineration will take place in 17 minutes. You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of an idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Where? God damn it! Okay. Fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7. Figure this out. Why me? Just shut up and stop this thing. What the hell? There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button. There isn't anything like that. How the hell do you know? Because I looked for it 9 years ago. Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait, the floor, it's moving.